Hey everybody, it is 7 o'clock. Woohoo! It is time for our pipe ceremony. So that's me. Let's see, can you see me good enough? I think you can see me. Awesome! Hello everybody and welcome. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. And what we are doing tonight, if I can get my pipe out of the bag, is, oh come on, doing a sacred pipe ceremony. There we go. So I'm still setting up. We got a little behind, but I figure that's okay because I notice not a lot of people jump on exactly when I start, so that gives me time to kind of settle in, to set up my altar while I'm chatting with you, give people the chance to realize that we are live, and get things set up. So thank you for joining me. Welcome. If you've not been here before, welcome. I am honored at your presence. Thank you for joining us, adding your energy to the circle. And, you know, stuff like that, you might think I'm just saying that just to be nice or something, but it's true. It's like, especially when I set sacred space and I encircle us in basically a bubble of love and light, because it's like setting a focus, and you, yay, hey Bill and Jeff, it really is like joining our energy together when we join in sacred space. It doesn't matter how far away we are, or how close we are, because the universe is a hologram. And if you know anything about holograms, what that means, a hologram, in a hologram, every part of a hologram contains the whole hologram. So if you think of those funky little bookmarks from like the 80s and 90s with the dolphins jumping, or the Mother Mary, that were three-dimensional, they were holographic. If you were to cut that into like 4 pieces or something like that, you would have 4 complete images of the dolphins. It wouldn't be, you wouldn't have the tail on one piece and a nose on another piece. You would have 4 complete images. And so that is what the universe is. I'm going to bring my candle down here, see if I get more light. There we go. That's better. Got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. Ooh, cool. Alrighty. So, yeah, so the universe is like a giant hologram. Just like those bookmarks, where every portion of the universe contains the entire universe. And what that means is that you are a part of the universe. So you know how they're always talking about the kingdom of heaven is within, or it's like your inner power, everything you need is inside of you. It's literally true, because you contain the universe within you. And well, how did I get on that subject? I don't remember how the sacred space. And so there is no separation. Everything is connected. We're all part of the same energy, the same source energy, the same creative energy of the universe, goddess, God, divinity, source, whatever you want to call it. We're all part of that same energy. And so, and again, that's why it's so important to do your own inner work. the best thing you can do for the world is do your own inner work, heal your own wounds, work on yourself before trying to, heal the world, change the world. Become the change that you want to see in the world. Become the healing you want to see in the world. Because you contain the entire universe within you. And so when you change something about yourself, you automatically change the rest of the universe, the entire cosmos. And so, one of my main teachers is Sandra Ingerman, and she likes to say that it's not what you do, but who you become that changes the world. So when we work on ourselves, when we learn to love ourselves, then we can't help but love everything around us, and that love within us changes the universe. It literally raises the frequency of the universe, and that light radiates out like you're a star. And it works like entrainment, like if you have a room full of clocks, and eventually you'll find them all starting to tick-tock together. It's called entrainment. And if you're the strongest, highest vibration in the room, eventually everyone's vibration is going to rise to meet yours, or at least rise a little bit toward yours. Or if that's too uncomfortable for somebody, they might actually leave the room rather than have that feeling of discomfort from their frequency being raised. So, but never hesitate to radiate your light and your energy, even if it makes others uncomfortable, because that is what you came here to do. We each came here. You are here now on purpose to help, to heal the world, to change the world, to be a part of what's going on right now. And just by being in the world, you introduce that unique frequency that wouldn't be here without you. And so just by being yourself, and the more, on a spiritual path, it really is about becoming more and more authentic, more and more transparent. And the more clear and the more transparent you are, the more you just heal by your presence. That's unicorn medicine. Got my little alicorn that I made out of selenite. Unicorns heal by their presence. They don't have to do anything. They simply are. And by being in their power and in their presence, they radiate the highest frequency possible. And it automatically transmutes all the energy around them. The old stories of the unicorn coming to a dirty pond or a polluted river or whatever and dipping their horn in, and then that clears the entire river or the entire pond or lake or whatever. That is how unicorns heal, and that's how you heal. When we're on the spiritual path, the more we do for ourselves, the more we learn to love ourselves, the more good we do in the world just by being in the world. And I know that's counter to everything you've ever learned or been told when you were growing up, and teachers and parents and authority figures and all that. But, excuse me, it's true. Just to warn you, I've got a bit of a cold, so you might hear me sneezing. I got my little handy dandy roll of toilet paper here in case I need to blow my nose. But not to worry, because if you remember last week, I wasn't feeling very well either. And over the weekend, I did actually go in for a COVID test, so I know this isn't COVID. It came back negative. And so this is just kind of developing from what I had last week, whatever that was. And now it's finally coming to the place where it sounds worse than it is. It's just annoying at this point. And but the main pain or aches or whatever, that's already water under the bridge. So anyway, it's a 2 chai day. This is my second chai today. So welcome if you've come in late. Not that it's late, we're all here right now, we're where we're supposed to be. But welcome. If you haven't been here before, especially, I thank you for joining us. I'm going to go over in a minute what exactly the pipe ceremony is and what's going to happen. This is something that I've been a pipe carrier for a couple of years now. I believe it's been a couple of years. And I knew before then that it was going to happen. I was just waiting for it to show up, and finally it did. It's like that thing. Where was I? Oh, so yeah. So traditionally, you don't go and purchase a pipe. It's like a vocation. It's a spirit. The spirits that call you to do this, just like being a shaman. It's the spirits that determine whether you are a shaman or not. It's nothing, and so you kind of wait for the call and you answer the call. And so with the pipe, traditionally you wait for the pipe to come to you. You might hear the calling, but you wait for the spirits to present you with that pipe. And so a couple of years ago, I finally got my pipe. I'd been working with White Buffalo Calf Woman for about 12 or 13 years-ish. Back about that long ago, I did a vision quest, and just out in the woods in a national park, up in Darrington, Washington, on this river. It was so gorgeous. And I was so excited. It just felt like the right thing to do. And at the same time, I wanted to make sure I was doing it with honor. And so before I did my vision quest, I meditated. I did a meditation and went to White Buffalo Calf Woman to thank her for allowing me to take part in one of her ceremonies, even though I wasn't one of her people. Then what happened next was this total shock, because all of a sudden, boom, there she was. I was on my lunch break in my car, in the parking lot of my day job at the time, and all of a sudden, boom, there's White Buffalo Calf Woman in front of me, in my mind's eye anyway, and she looked at me and she was like, "You are one of my children, you are one of my people, as much so as if I'd given birth to you myself." And so I feel like I'm kind of an adopted son to White Buffalo Calf Woman. And she's been working with me ever since then. She's been pretty much my main go-to spirit teacher. And then when I went on the vision quest, she actually showed up again. Well, of course she did. And she told me that what she did actually was, she told me to look back on, like, to take where I was and to look back at how far I'd come, and to take that in stride and to realize that I'm at a point where it's time for me to teach, where it's time for me my path is to be shared. That was her exact words. To know that I've got the experience and the workshops and classes and life experience and everything that I needed to be in that position to share what I've learned, to share that experience. And then she had me come back to the present moment, and then had me look ahead of me, look at the future and how far I still had to go. So it was she gave me this real sense of confidence as far as where I was and who I was and what I was sharing, and at the same time this big dose of humility, because I realized I didn't know it all. I knew enough that I could share, but just like everyone else, I'm still learning, and I'm still got all this path ahead of me, as much path ahead of me as there was behind me. And so it kind of gives me that sense of confidence to know, to trust myself and to trust my connection to spirit, even like this, like when I start the pipe ceremony every week and I never know what I'm going to say. I just start talking, and then it's like that trust of just tuning in and letting the words flow. It's not me talking, it's spirit talking through me. And so it's like trusting, I can trust those words because of my experience, because of what I've been through. Because working with your spirit guides is like any other relationship, any other friendship. It's a two-way street. It's a connection that needs to be nurtured. Your spirit guides become like your best friends. They're always with you. There's nothing too small. There's nothing too big to ask them about, to ask help with, because they're always there, and they will never steer you wrong, and they will never judge you. They will never they will never get on you for not doing something or for doing something you shouldn't have. They take you where you are. It's like a giant GPS system. You set your destination where you want to go, and then the guides look over and they can see the entire map, and they're like, okay, go straight for a couple of blocks and then take a right and then a left. And if you accidentally take a left when they said to take a right, you're not going to hell, I promise you. And you haven't technically done anything wrong, because if you do that, they're just like rerouting, and they'll give you the best directions to get where you're going. There is no wrong path. There is no wrong choices. And I've been through enough of that to really trust what they tell me. And I mean, even now, like, I'll get some guidance and I'll be a little iffy, like, are you sure? And then afterwards, it's always like, oh my God, they were right. And so over time, that sense of trust builds up. And it's not a one-way street. It's not you constantly asking for help, help me, help me, help me. They will pop in as well, especially when you get to know them. They're always around, and all of a sudden you'll see a picture of an animal that is one of your totems or your power animal, and all of a sudden you'll know that that's your spirit guide checking in with you, letting you know that they're there. Or you'll hear a piece of music or something else that you associate with a particular spirit guide, and that is that spirit guide telling you that they're there watching over you. And sometimes they show up, and I don't have any way to explain that other than to tell you this little story of when at that same day job where I was talking to White Buffalo Calf Woman in my car in the parking lot on my lunch break. One day I was walking, it was a warehouse job, and I'm walking through the warehouse, just walking down one of the aisles, had my hands along my side, and I felt something soft and fuzzy brushing against my hand at my side, right? And I'm like, what the heck is that? And so I stopped and I closed my eyes and kind of opened up my third eye, you know, looking what's going on. And here was my main power animal is a reindeer. You can see my candle here. I don't know if you can see that here. You can see my reindeer candle holder. That's Nathaniel. He's my main power guide, power animal. So anyway, I saw him. He was following me down the aisle of the warehouse, brushing his nose up against my hand. And it was just the coolest. It was like, oh my God, you know, it's not just woo woo and I think they might be here. It's like I had physical tactile experience of feeling him with me, feeling his fuzzy nose. That's my nickname for him when I go to it, because when I first met him, that was the first thing I saw. I saw this big fuzzy nose, and that's all I saw. And so I guess I still call him Fuzz Nose when I hang around with him. I always scratch his nose and kiss his nose before I come back to ordinary reality. But anyway, so you can trust your guides, you can trust your angels. The universe wants you to succeed. The universe, divinity, goddess, source, gave us the desires we have in order to be a compass for what direction to go in. We're supposed to follow our joy, follow our bliss. And when we do so, I was just talking to a friend about that tonight, and I actually did a reading today with someone that I was talking about. It's when you move to your joy, move in the direction of your joy, move toward those things that excite you and light you up and impassion you, that then life becomes somewhat more effortless, because that energy, that inspiration that comes through carries you. You know, when you're excited about something, it's effortless to go and do that thing. But if it's something you dread, it's like you're dragging your heels and you're just hating it, and it wears you down because you don't want to do it. It's not your joy. But when it's your joy to do something, when something gets you excited, it's effortless. That's spirit carrying you. And when we open up to that and allow, you know, to use our joy as our compass, then that's more important than, it's like, how do I say this? And this is kind of an oversimplification, I realize that, and a generalization, but like if you're having money issues or health issues or whatever issues are going on, by seeking alignment within yourself, connecting with your spirit guides, trusting that intuition and moving toward your joy, you actually open doors that may have been closed to you before, and then those other periphery things like health and finances and family and romance and all those other things fall into place, because those things are just effects. Those things are results. And so if you're out here trying to fix your finances, fix your romance, fix this, fix that, you're not owning your power where you are. You're out trying to fix the things that are blowing around in the storm. You're caught in the storm. And the only way to calm the storm is to find your own center, to be the eye of the storm. And then the storm settles around you. And then those things that you're seeking are seeking you. And so if you're chasing them, they're trying to chase you, And so you're basically running away from them. If you're chasing them, you're running away from them. You need to put the call out, know that you deserve it, whatever it is, and sit with it and call it to you. I talked about heron medicine last week, and about the stillness of heron, and how by standing in the water with those long legs grounded in the earth beneath the water, heron, it sits way above the water, and just those skinny little legs make hardly any ripples. So he stands in stillness, and so the waters around him calm. And then because of his reflection, his shadow on the water, fish are drawn to the coolness of that shadow. And so by being in stillness, his food comes to him. And then it's by looking into his shadow that he finds those things that nourish him. And so stillness is so important, especially right now. There are so many people I've talked to who are like, I keep trying to do things and they're not working out. And I feel like I'm just wasting time and I'm not doing anything. Right now, for most people, that is what you're supposed to be doing right now, is just stillness, resting. We're in a collective dark night of the soul. Everything has shifted. Everything has changed. There is no normal to go back to. So we're in this dark night of the soul, and the darkness is not evil. The darkness is actually the void, the cosmic womb of the cosmic mother where all things are born. Every possible reality exists in the dark. So when we're in the dark night of the soul, and again, this is kind of an oversimplification, but that's like, if I were in an actual class, I might talk more in depth about it. But for our intents and purposes here, it's in the dark night of the soul that you get to choose what reality you want to live in. What do you want to find your life to be like? What, how do I say it? Maybe I bit off more than I could chew starting to talk about that, because it's hard not to oversimplify it. But basically, that dark night of the soul is the place of rebirth. And like the story of, there's a story about Raven, and how Raven was the one who was able to fly. Like, the world was in darkness, and Raven at the time, it was pure white, this beautiful pure white bird, and for the sake of the world he flew to the sun and stole a coal from the sun, bringing fire, and flew that fire back to earth in order to bring light to the world, so that all the beings could see what they were doing, to bring to bring healing. And it was carrying that coal in his beak, that fire and that coal blew back upon him and turned his feathers all that shimmering, glimmering black. But so he's the fire bringer. He brings the light into the darkness. And when we're in the dark night of the soul, we're like Raven. It's like it's dark, but we get to decide what it is that we want to find on the other side of that darkness. When we are rebirthed and recreated, we get to decide what it is we're going to pull out of the darkness and bring into the light. So right now, not getting too far into politics, right now, there's a lot of uncertainty and fear and doubts and stuff going on right now. But we have been taught from childhood to expect the worst case scenario, to, give in to Murphy's Law, where everything goes wrong. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And that just sets us up. Then we go into the dark and we come out into the light, and that's what we find. Know that in the darkness that there is a path that we can find out of the darkness that leads to a world of love and respect, where all people are seen as equals, as deserving all the rights of everyone else. Everyone is taken care of, health care, everything. Love is love, and Black Lives Matter, and think about that world that you want to be in and expect it. It might not look exactly the way you picture it, but it's like moving step by step toward that goal. And as we move step by step, like I said earlier, Spirit guides us. We set that destination, we set that intention. I want to live in a world of love and respect and empathy, where everybody gets everything they need, where everyone is taken care of. That's our intention, that's our destination, and then we just move forward. And our intuition, our spirit guides, our deities tell us, guide us step by step. They don't give you the whole plan, right? Just like a GPS, they're like, okay, in 500 feet, turn right. They give you one step at a time. And then if you do turn a different way than they say, they're just like rerouting, and they'll bring you back to that place. So instead of, if you feel in the dark, you feel overwhelmed, you feel scared, know that not only do the worst case scenarios exist in the dark, that's all we're taught when we're kids, when we're growing up. It's like, expect the worst, expect things to fall apart, expect things to go badly. But the best case scenarios also exist in the dark. And the more we focus on only good can come of this, and there is a completely harmonious solution no matter what the circumstances is, then we can open our way to a brighter world, And so expect, it might not be the exact best case scenario that you want to see, but it'll be a step in that direction, right? So expect miracles. Like, there was a forum on the internet I was in for a while. It was called Expect Wonderful, because thoughts become things, and the more you expect things to work out, the more they do. So expect everything to work out. Know that you deserve everything to work out for you, whether globally or just individually in your own life. You are enough, and you deserve everything you desire. You deserve love. You deserve to be abundant. You deserve everything. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Just the fact that you are here means that you are deserving. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. You don't have to earn your passage in this lifetime. You are here. That is proof enough that you deserve it. Okay? Alrighty. So I probably talked long enough. So if you have not been to a pipe ceremony before, I will give you a quick tutorial. So this is the pipe. We store it separately because the stem is the divine masculine and the bowl is the divine feminine. And when we put it together, it becomes all of cremation. It must be Mindersauen. It's all of creation, masculine, feminine, yin yang, that dance of the feminine and the masculine. I keep seeing that infinity symbol, the dancing. And it's like, it's been used for so long that when we put the pipe together, it's just like drumming. People have used drums and rattles to call in the spirits for over 100,000 years. So whenever you shake a rattle or you beat a drum, you're calling in the spirits. That's like an agreed on signal that, ooh, something's going to happen. And so like you start beating a drum and all of the spirits are like, ooh, where did that come from? Okay, we're going to party. It's kind of the same thing. You put the pipe together and it's like all of creation responds. And it basically, as soon as the pipe goes together, it opens a clear channel straight to Creator, straight to Great Spirit. So when the pipe is together, it's good to think your best thoughts. Don't get caught into doubts and fears. And if you do, it's not bad. Again, it's rerouting and say, oh crap, I was just thinking about the worst case scenario. So I'm going to shift that thought and I'm going to start thinking about what's the best thing that could happen to me. And so when it goes together, that becomes one big prayer. And so what's going to happen is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smudge everything on my altar, including the pipe. And then I'm going to say a prayer, put the pipe together. And then I'm going to put four pinches of tobacco into the bowl. And you will hear me do the prayers to the different directions. During that part, and then once I have the pipe filled, I have a special song that White Buffalo Calf Woman gave me to sing before I do ceremony. So I will sing that, and then I will light the pipe, and then I will blow breath blessings into the four directions, and then to Father Sky, to Mother Earth, to all my relations, and then one to Creator. And then I do a thing where I do a special quiet, silent prayer with the stem to my forehead and the bowl to my heart. And then I will light the pipe again if it needs to be lit. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blow a breath blessing at my phone toward my camera. And through the magic of the holographic universe and the magic of the internet, it will go through there and straight to your heart. It's all about intention. And then I will continue to blow breath blessings. I have some prayer intentions other people have asked me to hold in tonight's ceremony, and I've got other things that I will pray for. So I'm going to intermittently be blowing breath blessings, sitting quietly with the pipe on my lap, and then blowing more, whatever, just kind of guided by spirit. And then when I'm done, I'll again say a prayer, and then I will sing a song. I will take the pipe apart, and then that's when the actual ceremony, well, the prayer, sacred pipe part of the ceremony ends. Before I do all of that, I need to create sacred space like I mentioned before, and then once I finish the pipe portion, then we will release that sacred space. But for this time, I will be drumming in, calling the spirits of the elements, the upper and lower world, the compassionate spirits of the middle world, and asking them to hold space for us, to hold us in their love and their light. And then basically, because they're holding this perimeter for us of light and love, they're holding that frequency around us, we can focus on our own inner workings, our own inner work, our prayers and our intentions. And when I do that, like I said earlier, holographic universe, my intention is that I am including you in that same space. So even though we are flung far and wide, you will be in the same sacred space as I am. So, ready? Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Bless us with your love and your light. Ow. All right. Awesome. One more sip of chai. All right. So I'm going to smudge everything. I've got some sage, and I actually ran out of, normally I do some sweetgrass and sage combined, but I kind of ran out of the sweetgrass at the moment. But I brought with me, I can never remember the name of this herb, but it's an herb that a student gave to me a while back, and it's specifically to honor the ancestors. And so since we're so close to Samhain, to Halloween, I'm going to burn some of this with the sage to honor the ancestors, because that is what we do at this time of the year. The veil gets thinner and thinner, and it's easier and easier to connect with our ancestors. And if you want to, like, I was going to talk about this too, so different ways to connect to your ancestors. And your ancestors are anybody who has passed on before you. So even if they were younger than you, if they've died and gone on, then they are still your ancestors. And there's many ways to honor our ancestors. And a couple of the ways that I do it that I love is, number one, if you have some cornmeal, there's a long tradition cross-culturally of feeding our ancestors. And so if you have some cornmeal, and you can take a pinch for each of the like if you have specific ancestors that you want to connect with, parents, grandparents, children, whoever, you can have a bowl, and then have the cornmeal here, and take a pinch of cornmeal, hold it in your hand, think of that ancestor, bring that ancestor into your mind, into your heart, feel their presence, and then feeling that love that you have for them, blow that feeling up from your heart and out your breath into the cornmeal. And then you can sprinkle it into the bowl. And then you can do that as many times as you need to, depending on how many ancestors that you want to connect with. And then when you're done, you have this bowl of love. And then you can take it out and give it to the earth, to feed the earth. Another thing you can do is, I think it's called the Dumb Supper. I think I remember that from my Catholic days. But again, it's this tradition cross-culturally to feed our ancestors. And so when you're having a meal, like if you have a meal on Halloween, on Samhain, take a bit before anybody else eats. Like if you're having, especially if you're having like well, you can't really have big potlucks right now because of COVID, but if you're having a bunch of food, take a bit of each kind of food and put it on a plate by itself before anybody eats anything. And then you can take that plate outside and just put it outside, like on a balcony or a patio or something. And that way you're giving that the essence of that food to feed your ancestors. And that connects, eating, breaking bread, sharing food is one of the main ways that we share energy with each other. And so it's a very strong way to connect with our ancestors as well, and there are many different kinds of ancestors. You've got your ancestors of blood, which are like your parents, grandparents, people that you know of blood that have died. Those are your ancestors of blood. Then you have ancestors of spirit. Those might be your spirit guides, that they're not necessarily the same tradition that you're from. Like, for instance, me with White Buffalo Calf Woman. She's an ancestor of spirit. Actually, when I was on my vision quest, before White Buffalo Calf Woman came in, Sitting Bull showed up. And it was kind of funny because Yeshua is also one of my guides. And I mean, I've talked to him since I was, that high. And so he's always been there. And so I'm sitting here in the woods talking to Jesus, and he's sitting here, we're having this talk, and all of a sudden Sitting Bull shows up, and it's just kind of this, whoa, the Sitting Bull. It was like totally starstruck because, oh yeah, Jesus, I know Jesus, but Sitting Bull, holy crap. But anyway, so Sitting Bull showed up, and he thanked me for honoring the traditions, and he said that he might not be an ancestor of blood, but he was an ancestor of spirit. And so your spirit guides, you might get, who knows, all the cultures and all the traditions in the world, you might get someone from another culture that you don't even really know anything about, but those are your ancestors of spirit. And then you have ancestors of story, which are like traditionally, like I'm half Irish by heredity, and so like traditionally my ancestors of spirit of story would be like the Irish legends, like Cuchulainn and Finn McCool, and the different Irish, the Tuatha De Danann, the different Irish legends, and that those would be the mythology. Those characters are my ancestors of story, and they are just as real and vibrant as your ancestors of blood. And in today's time and age, when we don't have necessarily those connections to our direct ancestry, the stories of our grandmothers and our grandfathers, we have things such as movies and TV shows and books and different things, and different public figures that become heroes. And so it's like the heroes, those are also your ancestors of story. So you can honor them as well. For example, wow, I'm really talking a lot tonight. I hope you guys stick with me. Thank you for your perseverance. I don't know who put a nickel in me, but one of my ancestors of story is Xena, Warrior Princess. That TV show came out at exactly the same time that I started having extreme panic attacks and anxiety attacks. And she became my lifeline. Like, I'd watch her show religiously. She became my inner warrior. She gave me the image to combine the different things I was seeking, courage and strength and all those different things. She gave me the image to combine those things. And so she became a vital part of my personal mythology. She became a ancestor of story for me, and I still honor her because she basically saved my life. I don't know that I would have gotten through that period of my life if I didn't have her as an example of how to fight your demons, how to stand strong in your own truth, how to change your life, how to, she went from being bad Xena to good Xena, and gave me the strength to look at my own shadows, to face my fears, to deal with the anxiety. And I really seriously don't think I would have survived if it wasn't for her. So she is one of the ancestors that I acknowledge and honor at this time of year especially. And then there are the ancestors of the land. Whatever land you live on, whether you're in an apartment or a house, wherever you live, that land that you live on has its own ancestors, the people who lived there for centuries before you. And so you can honor them kind of the same way with cornmeal or food. You take the cornmeal out into your yard or into a park nearby or whatever. Call in the ancestors of the land and thank them for holding space. Thank them for allowing you to cohabitate with them, to live in their space, and honor them for what they did to nurture the land around you. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas to get you going for honoring the ancestors at Samhain. And now let's smoke, shall we? All right, so smudging. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Alright, I should warn you, if I sing the same song over and over enough times, I eventually hit Muppet. So if I ever end up having to sing that over and over at some point, you'll probably hear me shift into Muppet mode. I'd be like Kermit the Frog or something. So, all right. So, thank you again for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this, adding your intentions and your energy to this circle. Grandmother, grandfather, eagle, I send a voice. I ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All my guides and guardians, watch over me as I smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, to Wabin, Shaunadisi, Magikiwis, and Wabus. There is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all my relations, come smoke with me. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors, may all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane. Yo. Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane. Yo. Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane Bayama, Okane. Yo. grandmother, grandfather, eagle, I send a voice. I thank you for our lives. I thank you for our paths. Thank you for these moments of stillness amidst the chaos. Thank you for these times of breath, of stillness, of calmness, of connection. Keep us centered as we move through the world, as we radiate our light into a world that so sorely needs it. Aho. Ihi-la-ihi-o. 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 Ihi. Aho. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I started doing this pretty much at the beginning of the pandemic as a way to hold space, to hold the frequency, to radiate love and peace to the world, to hold people and hold space for people in love and light for whatever changes that they are going through, whatever changes the world is going through. And so I was doing it on my own every night, and then I decided that I wanted to share it because, like White Buffalo Catwoman told me, my path is to be shared. And so this is one of the most sacred ceremonies that I know of, and to be able to share it with you is a great honor and privilege. I thank you so much for taking part. If you came in late, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It doesn't matter what time you came in, or even if you're watching this in replay. This space is, there's a vitality and vibrance to this space no matter what time it is. If you come back time again and again and again. I will post this on my Facebook page, so feel free if this helps you, if it calms you, feel free to watch it again later on in the week or whatever. Feel free to share the video. And know that I'm here to help support you through what's going on right now, individually and globally. You can check out my website at perchingwolfstudios.net to see what shamanic services I offer that might resonate with you to help. I do different kinds of shamanic healing, space clearing. I do medicine card readings, which are cards with the totem animals on them and getting messages from your animal guides and your totems, that kind of thing. So whatever I can do to support you, that is my deepest joy. My MO is to empower other people. I want to live in a world where I'm surrounded with people who are empowered and passionate. And the more people like that we have in the world, the better off we all are. So whatever I can do to help you further on your path, to empower you, to connect you, align you with Creator or whatever, please feel free to connect with me on my website. And I think that's it for this evening. Let me release those spirits that so lovingly held us in their love, holding space for us to do our own prayer intentions and work. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me again. We're so much more powerful when we join our energy, when we join our intentions and send them to Creator, send them out to the world. And I really deeply appreciate you for being here with me, for taking the time out of your week to turn inward, to connect, and to pray whatever way you do so. So thank you again. So have a great Samhain, which is the Celtic name for Halloween. Honor your ancestors. Know that your ancestors are all around you. You have so many ancestors helping you. Like a meme I saw, the prayers of your grandmother are still protecting you. So know that you are loved and watched over and protected, that you are guided every step of the way. Okay? And so until next time, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. So until next week, go shining. Bye.